This is an in-depth discussion of the button customization that was done to the Easttop EAP 16, which is a wonderful value harp for like 118 bucks. It's really something else. Anyhow, so this right here is the EAP 16 that originally had these covers on it, which are really beautiful. It's a kind of a stamped stainless cover. And then to improve the tone, I had these older Hohner 280C covers from back in the day when they were brass and nickel plated. And I'm waiting for a set of KETTLEWELL resonant covers from Russ. You know, these are much, broadcast sound a whole lot better and make a prettier tone. So anyway, the button. Well, this is the button I made, and it's a fat little pig, isn't it? And I just thought, well, I'll do something different. You know, I mean, in the past, most of the custom buttons are fluted. This is not fluted. It's like a pig. You know, it's just like the fat pig ERGO button. But now let me explain what's going on. This was the stock button on the EAP, and I got a problem with this. There is a 90-degree edge right here between this side here and the side. That's 90 degrees, and it bites your little finger when you press on it. It's also not that large a button, and this button you can see is almost twice the thickness of the custom one. And there's a reason. These covers end right here, but the ones from Russ are going to come, they're much bigger. See, they stick out more like that way, and they're larger, and so a larger button is actually more comfortable, in my opinion. Certainly this would be playable with resonant covers. I'm just saying I prefer the ergonomics of a little bit bigger button in general use. Now, this button is nice because no matter what angle you go to press on it, it's comfy to the hand. But these were, again, the original covers. I'm very happy with how this turned out. And so this harp, as you know, has undergone significant customization. The comb was sanded flat. The channel cut and the slide, this little thing right here, had the edge on this side and that side where it bites and hits the bumper. Smooth, so it won't wear the bumper. That's kind of cool. And you know, of course, it has the custom covers on it. Those are a little bit opened on the back end to provide a little bit more, projection of sound. You probably would like to hear this. Very lovely, and look at how airtight it is. There's no dead air going. You know, it when you hit air, reed fires. Isn't that wonderful? And of course, blow or draw and bends, easy. I've always been, you might wonder, you know, why would you take $118, EAP and customize it? And I find the idea of taking an inexpensive harp and taking it to a very, very high professional level, or at least a professional level, or close to a professional level, a fascinating exercise. And I've done it on a lot of harps. Like I did it on a 270 Hohner that was old and rebuilt that. I was never really satisfied with it. Those harmonicas are They don't really have a modern kick, modern sound, modern presence, modern projection, but boy, the EAP does. And, it's kind of like not everybody has a whole lot of cash that they can afford to put into a harmonica here in the United States or worldwide. Or sometimes somebody's new in the instrument. They don't want to spend $500 or $700 or $1,000. Like, what do I play this? I play a Seidel Vulcany solid brass harmonica. And I think for what they charge, I think those are about $550 right through. It's a lot of value for that harp, but it's a little bit more money, And I get orchestra tuned on those. So anyhow, just the idea that I can have a harmonica that functions, that's not real expensive, and that's why I just kind of have fun customizing them to the highest degree possible. One time I did a swan that was like a $39 swan, and took that to a professional level. That was a hilarious project, man. I'll tell you, it was very playable, very pleasant harp, and I'd say the difference with the Easttop EAP is it's actually a very, very good platform stock. It's pretty airtight from the factory, and it's a nice instrument. That you can buy those and get that kind of value for that kind of money just really blows my mind. And I really think it's great that those manufacturers can do that. So it's kind of like, this is like my hobby is, can I get a harp that was very inexpensive to really be fun and play and airtight and, very nice. So again, take a look at this EAP, Easttop, ABS comb, fun harp, real comfortable mouthpiece, totally airtight. The machining's so nice. The air tightening improved the tone, of course, and made it easier to play. And the next thing you'll see soon is we're going to have a set of resonant covers made for the Easttop. And you can see that's an acoustically valid shape, like half the bell of a trumpet. See what I mean? Top and bottom, half the bell of a trumpet. And it's a chamber that starts off not too deep and gets bigger and bigger and bigger to the end of the space. So it kind of mimics half the bell of a trumpet. But anyway, I don't know if you like the shape of this. If I were marketing it, I would call it the big fat pig, I think. Something like that. Why not? Anyhow, and what do you think of the Hohner covers? Not bad, huh? And look at that bend. Now, they didn't have that bend when I first got them. They had to be bent like that. They didn't have that kind of arc to them. They were pretty much straight across. They weren't arched, and I'm talking about that arch there. When I first got them, they were flat. They're not flat now because I wanted to broadcast sound a little better. Anyway, that was an extensive discussion of what was done with the button. It was made on a 1946 South Bend's 10-inch lathe. 10 inches is about how large a piece it will hold. The lathe will hold up to 10 inches of a piece that's spinning if you have the right chuck. That's what that means. Why it's called a 10-inch lathe. It's a huge lathe, but that's called a 10-inch. And, there were a lot of videos on taking off the stock button, making the new button, putting it on the slide with epoxy. I think we're up to 17 videos right now on this project, and we're not done yet. But again, this is the Easttop EAP Performer 16-hole